Okay, so second part. The second part, we're going to be working with law of cosines. But before we go into the law of cosines, let me show you the problems that we have on the bottom. Are any of these problems set up in a way where we can use the law of sines, what we just covered in the first part? Can we do number 6 with the law of sines? Do we have two angles and then the sides across from the angles given or missing? There's no two angles, right? See, we have two sides, but the thing is that, see, yes, we need to have the opposite side here in order for us to use the law of sines, and that's not given. Okay? And see, here there's another missing angle, and here there's another missing angle. So there's three things that are missing, and we cannot use that. So 6 cannot be used. Any other one that you can think that we can use the law of sines? Problem number 8, that is right, Maricela. So problem number 8, see, we have an angle, side across, side, we're missing the angle. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and try problem number 8. Set up the problem, cross multiply, find the missing side, and then we're going to check it. So try number 8 with the law of sines. Let me give you a couple of minutes to work on that. So you were supposed to set it up as a proportion, right? The measurement of angle R, sine of R is to 15, sine of 95 is to 21. And then we have to cross multiply, sine of 95 is to 21. Then you cross multiply, so it's 21 goes first, and then sine of R, and then 15 goes first, sine of 95. You have to get rid of the 21 first. Don't change anything yet. And then you get the arc sine, and then get the arc sine of the whole thing, and that gives you a more accurate answer, and it's 45. Questions about the law of sines? So far, so good? Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and talk about the law of cosines. Okay, so what is the law of cosines? Okay, the law of cosines looks a little intimidating, like, oh my goodness, that's so much. But see, all you have to remember is, if you're looking for one of the sides, A, B, or C. Yeah. If you're looking for one of the sides is missing. And what you have is the other two sides are given. So you're missing one of the three sides. Or you have the three sides given and an angle is missing. Okay, so when you have three sides and an angle is missing, you can use a law of cosines. Or you have one angle, and the side across that angle, it's given. See that? Then you can go ahead and use the law of cosines. So you gotta have at least one angle and the side across given, or you're missing that one. And then you have the other two sides that are given. You use the law of cosines. So if you look at problem number 6 over here, in this problem, we're missing EF, which is across the angle given. So that side is the one that we're missing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that side. You're going to square that. And then that's going to be equals to the other two sides, the sum of the other two sides square, minus 2 times the product of the two sides, 9 times 10, and then it's cosine of the angle. And the angle is that a 43? Yes? Okay, great. And then it's cosine of 43. So at this point, if I want to leave x by itself, all I have to do, see, the x is square, so how do I get rid of that square? Just square root the whole thing, and that way you can cancel this up. And then you get the square root of that, and that would be the answer. So all we have to do is just put that in the calculator. Second square root, 9 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 9 times 10, cosine of 43, and that's the answer. So what is the length of EF? When you run it to the hundreds, 0.3, right? Because it's 2, 5, so the 5 is 5 or greater, yes. So the 2 runs up, so it's 0.3. And the unit of measure is centimeters, and that's all you got to do. Okay, so if the side across from the angle is missing, just have to get the square root of the whole formula. That's it. Okay, right? I think it's just a matter of getting the square root of all of that, and that's it. Yes. Okay, so now go ahead and try problem number 9, because number 9 is the same scenario. You're looking for the side across from the angle 28. So try number 9. When you check your answer, it's going to be AB equals to 8.14, and this is kilometers, and that's it. Questions about problem number 9? No? So far so good? Okay, so now let's go ahead and work on problem. Let me break this down here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let me just bring this over here. Let's see. Okay, get out of the way. There you go. Okay, so now, number 7. In problem number 7, we have the 3 sides missing, and we need to find one of the angles. So, let's set it up. The measurement of angle X is the one that we're missing, angle X. So, we need to start by the side across from that angle. So that would be 7 square equals, and then we get the other 2 sides. You get those 2 sides and you square those 2 sides, the sum of those 2, square, minus 2, and then times the product of those 2, which is 6 times 8. And then you get the cosine of the angle across that 7, which is X. So now at this point, we have to simplify, okay, what you have on the right side and what you have on the left side. So on the left side, 7 squared, that is 49. And now let's put that the 6 squared plus 8 squared on the calculator. So what is 6 squared plus 8 squared? So 100, right? So I'm going to put that, instead of that sum, I'm just going to put 100. Now minus, let's get the product of 2 times 6 times 8. So how much is that? Right, 96, so it's negative 96, right? And then this is cosine of X. Okay, so we have to get rid of this stuff one step at a time. So what would you get rid of first if I want to leave for the X? Okay, well, I need to get rid of the 100, this is like a plus that doesn't have any sign. So we need to get rid of this first. I cannot subtract this because the 96 is multiplying the cosine. Okay, so I cannot subtract this because this is not in parentheses. So I need to get rid of the 100 first, and then I need to get rid of this that is multiplying the cosine.
So you would subtract 2 minus 100?
That is right. So let's subtract 100 first to both sides of the equation, negative 100, and that's negative what? 51. Negative 51 equals negative 96, and then this is cosine of X. Now we need to get rid of the negative 96. Now we have to divide because it's multiplying cosine. So divide by negative 96. And I recommend that you don't change that into a decimal, not yet, okay? So let me just bring this over here because I need more space. So what I'm going to have is, let me just rewrite this. This is going to be cosine of X equals negative, no emails right now, so negative, let me just put, is negative divided by negative positive? Yes, right, so I'm just going to put the fraction like that, 51 divided by 96. Now I have to leave the X by itself. And cosine, you get rid of the cosine how? With the inverse. Please try not to divide because that's a mistake, okay? So whenever you want to get rid of the property, you do inverse of that property. Okay, so then the measurement of angle X is, then put that in the calculator. Second cosine 51 divided by 96, and how many degrees is that? 58 degrees. That is right, 58 degrees. And that's the measurement of the angle, okay? So this requires a little more steps. Just do one at a time, okay? One at a time. First, simplify, the numbers. Once you simplify each one of the numbers, then start getting rid of the numbers one at a time, and then at the end just do inverse cosine, okay? Questions about this so far? No? Let me give you one more on the back of the paper. Go ahead and copy this problem. This is cosine. This is the law of cosines, yes. Okay, so then the problem, this is problem number 10. And in number 10, the problem is triangle JKM. So triangle JKM. M is in mother. JKM. The side lengths are 1.3, 2.1, and 1.9. And here we need to find the measurement of angle. It says find the measurement of angle J. So J has an angle X there. Okay, so we're looking for this angle here. So go ahead and set it up and then solve for the measurement of angle J. I'll give you a couple of minutes to work on that. You're so good. Okay, so you're supposed to have the side across, right? So that was 1.9 square, right? That is equals to 1.3 square plus 2.1 square minus 2, I forgot that at the beginning, 1.9 times, no, okay, 1.9. 1.3 times 2.1, and then it's cosine of x. So far, so good?
Yes.
Wonderful. So 1.9 squared, that gives you 3.61.
Yes.
And when you square and you add those two, that is negative, 2 point, what did you get on that?
6.1.
6.1, great. And then the product of those two with the 2 would be what? 5.46? Great. Cosine of x. Great. Okay. Then what did you move? The 6.1. Wow. Okay. So then when you subtract, that's negative 2.49? Perfect. And then here you still have negative 5.46 cosine of x. Then we divide, right? Both sides by negative 5.46 divided by negative 5.46. That cancels out. And then at the end, all we have to do is get, well, this is, let me just rewrite it. Cosine of x is 2.49, I'm not going to change anything yet, divided by 5.46. Then here we get the arc cosine, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So arc cosine of both sides, that cancels out the cosine. So the measurement of angle J is, and you said that is what?
63.
63? Wow, guys, you're so great. 5.46. 63, that is right. You are right. Yes, awesome. Any questions about this problem? No? Perfect. Okay. So at this point, let me go ahead and give you a chance to work on that worksheet. And if you have at least one problem from the law of sines and one problem from the law of cosines completed, I'll stamp your paper and you get 10 extra points. You got that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me go ahead and run and stamp those papers.